Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today we're doing our movie series. You're watching that again. Doing Police Academy 3, Back in Training. And we also have a very special guest for us today. We have Seabass joining us from all the way over in Nova Scotia, Canada. Seabass, welcome.
Welcome.
Say hello.
I am. Hello.
Yes.
Copy.
All right.
Warning, this is a full spoiler podcast. If you haven't seen the movie, please come back when you have.
Yeah, full spoiler podcast.
So we're discussing our favourite movies and, that we have seen way too many times. And Jared, we're still going through Jared's pick of Police Academy.
Yeah, we're still continuing with our Police Academy series. So Police Academy 3 released March 21st, 1986. I'll get this right eventually. Starring Steve Guttenberg, Bubba Smith, Dave Graff, Michael Winslow, Marion Ramsey, and all the others. Written by Gene Quintino and directed by Jerry Paris. So going across to everyone, we'll start with you, Seabass. Just a quick sort of, what was it like rewatching this film, and can you remember watching it when you were younger or anything?
I don't really remember watching, I think, more than the first or second one when I was a kid. I don't think I really made it past that. And that time, movies were pretty much straight VHS. There was no DVD. There was no nothing like that. So, times were a little different then, let alone the accessibility with online and stuff like that. But it was enjoyable, to say the least. It definitely brought back some memories. The most memorable character is definitely the sound effects guy for me, though. He's
Michael Winslow,
stands out.
The Love Doctor.
Yeah. You, Eddie?
Out of all of them, I think this is the one that I probably hadn't seen that recently. I think I probably maybe watched it once. It wasn't one that I'd repeatedly watched.
Yeah. Well, see, for me, guys, this one is one I've probably watched the most, I'd say.
Because of the jet skis,
because of the jet ski scene. We're avid jet ski users, so this was actually something that we'd do. We'd come back from a day of jet skiing and then we'd put on Police Academy 3. So, but I haven't seen this film in, I would say, a long time. So it actually was, as Seabass was just saying, it was good to sort of reminisce, to sort of watch this and to see it again all these years later.
Did you have this on Laserdisc? Is that?
And yes, this was a Laserdisc movie. We had the old, I don't know if you ever had those, Seabass, but the old big record Laserdiscs that we had that you had to flip over as well. And I knew the exact moment of when you had to flip it in this movie. And it was when... It was when Tucker Berry fired his crossbow at the cigar.
Okay, yeah.
If that sentence makes any sense or not. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Did you want to do the recap, Jared?
Sure, I'll do the recap. In a large parking lot, Lieutenant Proctor and Commandant Mauser meet Sergeants Chad Copeland and Kyle Blanks from Commandant Lassard's Police Academy. One of the two police academies is going to be phased out by the state government due to budgetary restraints, and Mauser wants them to ensure Lassard's fails. The following day, the governor announces that he will appoint a committee to evaluate which academy will remain open. Commandant Lassard realises how to win. With Sergeant Jones, Lieutenant Callahan, he calls back Sergeant Mahoney, Sergeant Brooks, Sergeant Hightower, and Sergeant Tacklebury as trainers for the new recruits. Among those are Sergeant Fackler's wife, Violet, who he opposes to joining the force, Sweet Chuck and Zed, who have a history as Zed's gang has arrested him when he was a small shop owner, Karen Adams, a beautiful young woman Mahoney is attracted to,
Generic blonde
number one.
Love interest.
Number two. And Tacklebury's brother-in-law, Bud Kirkland. Nagata, initially a recruit of Mauser's academy, Mauser transfers him to Lassard's instead, hoping to sabotage it. After a few weeks of training, Nagata is love-struck by Callahan. Sweet Chuck contemplates quitting as Zed, who he has to room with, drives him crazy. Tacklebury dissuades him, taking him under his wing. Copeland and Banks make sure the recruits do the things so the committee questions their competence. At the recruits' initial failure, Mauser and Proctor tease them. In retaliation, Mahoney tapes Mauser's eyes closed with extremely strong tape while doing a taste test. Proctor removes the tape, but unintentionally pulls off Mauser's eyebrows. Lassard and Mahoney give a prep talk to the cadets before the training resumes. Adams finally warms up to Mahoney after the talk and they bond. At the police person's ball, Mahoney sees his prostitute friend, and after Proctor insults him and Adams, he has her trick Proctor into stripping naked, then locks him out of the hotel room. Trying to get back to the academy, Proctor accidentally enters the Blue Oyster Bar.
Dun, dun, what is it? Dun, 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 dun.
Meanwhile, Mauser insults Lassard in front of his recruits, telling him that he is winning. Mahoney retaliates by giving a speech at the ball and puts a microphone in water, so when Mauser grabs it, he gets shocked. On the final day of the cadet training evaluation competition, one recruit from each academy attends the governor's ball. Proctor misunderstands and sends two, though. Copeland and Banks manipulate the computer system, deliberately sending cars to the wrong locations to help Mauser win. Hooks catches them, knocking them out cold. At the governor's party, a gang of thieves dressed as busboys rob the guests, taking the governor hostage. Mauser's cadets promptly fight upon being threatened by the thieves, but Lassard's cadet Hedges alerts the team before being taken hostage. Mahoney and company rush to rescue the governor.
On jet skis.
On jet skis. Mauser's academy is ineffective in reacting to the emergency, but Lassard's squad arrives in time to fight off the thieves and rescue the governor. The governor shuts down Mauser's academy for failing to stop the robbery at the party, so Lassard stays open. In the epilogue, Lassard speaks about the company's gratitude for the many, many wonderful recruits. The graduating class salutes the camera as the film ends. The end.
Yeah, the plot of this movie makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
I think it makes sense. You know, there's two police academies in the state and they want to close one down and, you know.
Why would there be two in the first place, though?
I don't know. It's a big state. It's in Canada. Yeah. All filmed in Canada. Isn't that right, Seabass?
I don't know about all, but I know the last scene was, because as soon as I saw the CN Tower, I was like, yeah, that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that but also the fact that they've got Lieutenant Harris, it probably would have made more sense to have Mauser back from the original one where he would have gone off to a rival police academy. I don't even believe that there are rival police academies. Like it would be a state, like most states would have like one police academy.
Yeah, I guess. But it's funny how like one was like really militaristic though. Like they had berets on and they're all sort of cold and stoic. Like they're more like almost a military based than police, and they're two different sort of entities.
Yeah. But again, I still think Mauser, because it would have made more sense because they've brought back those jock guys as
the saboteurs.
The saboteurs as but how do they even know Harris? Like it didn't make much sense.
Okay.
That's all
right.
That's my point.
Yeah, all right.
And how did they learn how to ride those jet skis so damn quickly?
Well, they didn't learn.
Because I know those stand-up jet skis are very difficult
well, actually,
to ride. And they had that, what are they called, those wet bikes?
The wet bike.
They look almost impossible to ride.
Yeah, they are quite difficult. I've never ridden one, but they're meant to be able to sort of lean those like a motorbike. They're actually meant to be like a motorbike ski. That was the initial idea of them.
But the stand-ups are like that too.
Well, but you don't sit on it though, that. So, but you could actually like lean and turn. And I think the throttle. I did see Jones revving the throttle like a motorbike. So I'm not sure if that was sort of similar. Maybe.
Right. Okay. So, you don't get too many new characters introduced in this movie. It's mainly bringing back characters from other movies. The only new characters that you get are generic blonde number 2, generic blonde love interest number 2.
Yeah.
And the Japanese guy, Nagato, or what is it, bad Japanese stereotype, who plays the exact same character in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. He's born in California, I believe.
Yeah.
I suppose it's There's a few of those actors I've seen that sort of play that stereotype. So I don't know. I guess he's got his money, so can't be too upset.
Yeah. But yeah, and you get Fackler's wife, and they do the similar scene from the start of the first movie on
They
top.
completely reenact it. Yeah,
just with opposites.
Even with the car driving past and the snooty guy in his car looking over it and seeing that, because they kind of did that with Kim Cattrall in the first one, where she was in the car and she saw Fackler's wife on it, and she had that same look, like they had to recreate that joke for some reason.
Yeah,
just pretty.
So, and then they do the. Is it Two's Company? No, what is it? The roommates that have to learn to get along.
Oh, what's that TV show? The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple, that's it.
Yeah.
It's Zed and
Sweet Chuck. Yeah. Okay, can we talk about Zed and Sweet Chuck?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. I love them too. What about you, Seabass? I reckon they're the best sort of odd couple.
Zed? I fucking loathe that character.
Oh, really?
I do not enjoy watching at all.
Is it the voice?
It's his character, period. Like
okay.
just I don't know, something about him. I was like, he deserves the fucking wooden spoon. And I hope I never see him in another movie again. I hope I've never seen him in another movie after this, because that was horrible acting. Anybody could fucking.
You're not a fan of Bobcat Goldthwait?
Say that again?
You're not a fan of Bobcat Goldthwait? That's the actor who plays him, the comedian.
Yeah, I have no clue who that is. I don't even think I've ever heard that name before.
Oh, really?
Maybe he's a good comedian, but like I honestly watched that and I was like, I don't remember ever seeing him in anything after this, and I'm pretty glad I haven't, because I think he's a pretty shitty actor. But that's just my personal opinion.
That's his act. Like, if you've seen any films he'd been in a few. He was in the previous Police Academy movie, and that as a character that he plays, it's that sort of hinged sort of character, and it was his stand-up routine. And he was pretty popular with it. Maybe didn't make it north, but I definitely saw him in Australia in these movies and a couple other movies he'd been in. I guess if it's that thing, if you don't get the joke of what that guy is, you just see that guy and you're like, what the hell is this? Yeah. What is this?
Yeah, that was pretty much that's my whole sum up with him. I had no clue about his gig or his bit or anything, so I was just like, this guy is just annoying me.
I think that was his shtick, is that he is supposed to be kind of an annoying character.
Well, yeah, for sure. And he definitely did a good job at it. But yeah, like for me, I was just like, I don't know. It was just a lot of tongue hanging out and wagging and making sounds. And I'm like, there's really not like much to that. But anyways.
Well, I always thought that was how he acted. Like, that was him.
That was him normally.
But I only found out until, some time recently that was a character. So I don't know what that says about me, that I was laughing at someone who had some sort of mental disability who was acting like that or what. But because I thought there was something seriously wrong with him. Like, that was a speech impediment or something that he had, like a really bad one. But he was like playing it up a little bit or something. But yeah, I guess if it's not your taste and you don't like, and if you're not into it, then I can see how you wouldn't like it. But for me, I absolutely loved Zed. So go figure, huh?
I think I like the Zed and Sweet Chuck mix.
Well, they are such an odd couple. That is such a I mean, you got that the Sweet Chuck character who's meant to be like an old man, which is obviously only in his 30s. That actor.
Well, if you look at, there's a recent photo of him and Zed.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and he doesn't look any different.
He looks the same age now as he did then.
Exactly the same, because they had made him look older in the movie. So
yeah. I wanted to say, just in general, with this movie, like being a PG movie, because I find a lot of comedies, in general, like if they're a PG, they're generally usually kids' films. And I was looking at like PG comedies from years ago, like Ghostbusters and stuff like that.
Well, one of them was just on the telly before.
What was that?
Indiana Jones. And
yeah, that's a PG movie. The face melting scene. They cut it off. They cut it.
I think but they cut the blade scene, the propeller blade.
Yeah, the guy getting cut by the propeller. Could that be PG? I don't know if that's PG.
Yeah, it was PG.
Was it? Oh god. But in general, like if most comedies are going to be like pretty raunchy and pretty, obnoxious, which I don't have a problem with. But it is sort of nice just to have a wholesome comedy like that, where it's you could have it with the kids in the house and not worry about it.
Like you starting to watch Squid Game with the kids around,
Oh.
not realizing what it was about.
Have you seen it, Seabass? Squid Game?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was hearing stuff about it, and I just thought it was a reality TV show or a fake reality TV show, and I'm watching it.
You thought it was a show about a fake reality TV
that's
show.
what I thought it was, and I'm watching it with my son. He's like 9. I'm like, oh, okay, this ain't so bad, like the first bit. And then there was a scene where they start gunning people down. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. It suddenly just turned into Battle Royale. And yeah, I had to turn that off. So, yeah. And he wanted to watch it. Oh, keep watching it, Dad. You want to keep watching it? Like, no. It's pretty graphic.
So,
anything you wanted to talk about, Seabass?
Nothing in particular. One of the funniest scenes, I think, is when the chick jumped in the car and took off and stole the cop car, and then that scene just kept going and going and going for a little while. It was pretty funny, but
yeah,
it was probably one of the most memorable ones for me for comedy.
Yeah.
Even though it was in the start.
Yeah. Yeah. And as we said, that was recreated from the first film, but the role, it was the husband, the wife on the hood that time. So yeah. So they're the movie locations. So the actual police academy is part of is it Hamburg University or Hammer University in Toronto? Hamburg, that's it. Hamburg University. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking a bit on Google Maps, and you could see where the main buildings are, and that roundabout where they have the sort of opening there and stuff. So, have a look through there. And do you go? Is that far from you, or do you ever go up that way?
When I used to live in Toronto, I mean, I've been to the Humber Valley and the Humber area, but I never really went to that far. Like, that's really in the west end of town. Like, it's deep in the west end. So, like, I mean, at one point I lived not too far from no, at one point I lived right beside the Humber River. It was the Humber overpass, but as for the university, I don't know where that is exactly. I know the area vaguely, but I don't know where the actual campus and stuff is. But yeah, like I never really spent too much time there because it's more like it's almost on the edge of Toronto, and then into the next township, which is Etobicoke, which is still part of Toronto technically, but it's its own township next over. But like aside from that, no.
Yeah.
I just never really bother going to the West End very often.
And that lake that they're on, so is that the Lake Toronto or?
That's Lake Ontario.
Ontario, right? Yeah.
Did you go down a rabbit hole?
No rabbit holes. Hang on, I read some other stuff here, but it hasn't seemed to have come up. So let's talk. I want to talk about the wet bike.
All right, we can talk about the wet bike.
I
never, other than this movie, I don't think I've ever seen one.
It debuted in another movie, that wet bike, the James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay, I don't think
Roger Moore rode one, and that was a prototype one actually. I think it was like before it was even released. He rode one of those wet bikes. So it was a real hybrid. They weren't really sure how to build these things at that stage. They didn't really have the stand-up one. So it's got the impeller, so it's the propeller is inside the machine, and with the ski on it, like that at the front of it. So it's kind of a weird conception. It was made by a company. I wrote it down here, but it's not here. A company that will become Tiger Shark, that would go on to make other things. I think Kawasaki did buy the rights to it later on, produced it for a little while, but not for that long. As I said, I've never ridden one. They look kind of fun to ride. I don't know. They're all fun to ride.
They look hard to ride.
I think it would take a bit of skill. Yeah. I think the hardest part would be falling off it and trying to get back on again, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you have wasn't your dad's friend had something to do with the...
Oh, yeah. So a friend of my father, her mother was was the stunt double for the female jet skier, or the female character.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so she did the stunts for that. So I probably should have got in touch with her or something to see what the story was behind it. I think he did tell me a little bit. It took him. It was a lot of shooting in that. It was a pretty cool chase scene, I got to say. I can't think of many jet ski chase scenes in films that done that well. Only maybe Waterworld I could think of.
Only other time the Tomb Raider.
Was it one in Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
Which one?
The second one, the really bad one.
Okay.
Okay, the first one wasn't that great. But I know Angelina Jolie was talking about trying to learn how to ride she had to learn how to ride one of the stand-up jet skis. She was going on about how difficult it was to learn how to ride the stand-up jet skis.
Yeah, take a bit of practice. Actually, some mentions in here. Rewatching it again, I'd never realised that the villain you see at the end was actually in the police lineup.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched this movie and I'd never noticed that. That completely spun me out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, that's the same guy. How did I not know that? Maybe just as you get older, you sort of pick up on this stuff a bit more.
Yeah. Yet they pretty much got all the same actors back from the first movie.
Yeah,
Except
except for Harris, yeah.
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 And generic blonde. Number one.
Oh, okay. The prostitute.
Well, they got the prostitute
They got the prostitute back. She was a famous porn star.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She did a shitload of porn films.
Debbie Does Dallas. And kidding.
Yeah. Is that like the only porn movie anyone knows? Backdoor Sluts 9.
Yeah.
Bend Her.
Yes.
The Penetrator. No. They don't make porn parodies anymore, do they? I don't think they even bother with storylines anymore. That's
No.
just get straight to the point now. Yes, Darth Vader. Yeah, whatever. Darth in her.
Stuff. More stuff.
The Blue Oyster Bar. We've got the Blue Oyster Bar back now.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was a real place as well, but it's not there anymore. The Silver Star or something like that. It was called, or the Silver. Yeah, the building's no longer there, so we can't go to the Blue Oyster Bar anymore. No.
Damn.
But
that appears in every movie, doesn't it?
I love the timing of it.
I don't know how they're going to do it in, like, what's the Moscow one?
Mission to Moscow.
Mission to Moscow. How are they going to get the Blue Oyster Bar into that?
Well, it'll be the red vodka bar or something. But every time they go in there, and it's just so brilliant, that music just bangs right in with that little trumpet. Yeah, every time they go into that Blue Oyster Bar, it's just deadly silence, and then that kicks in, and everyone has to dance a tango. I love it. There's something kind of cool about that, I think.
The other thing that I noticed with this movie is Jonesy seems to get superpowers. Like it's all with the movie most of the time is within the realm of reality.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to Jonesy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he can hover in the air and do martial arts.
And bad lip syncing.
And the bad lip syncing is fine, but there's like him jumping up to the ceiling.
Yeah. And he's hovering up there in slow-mo.
Yeah. So, yeah, sort of a weird addition to this.
Yeah.
Movie.
Oh, Steve Guttenberg nearly crashed the ski too. Did you see that scene?
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that, Seabass?
Bang straight into the... is it a pylon?
I paid attention to the majority of the chase, but I didn't catch every single...
No, it's pretty quick. It's right at the end as they pull up to the Fiora, whatever it is. Not Fiora, the pier. And just as he pulls up, he falls off the ski, and you see it just ram into the pier. Yeah. It hits it pretty hard too. Something I noticed a lot as a kid, like, oh, he crashed it. You know, you tell he just lost it at last second, and everyone's kind of, you can sort of see other actors kind of go, oh shit, is he all right? You know, You're right there.
Yeah. Do you want to go into question time? Or have you got more?
You really want to get into that, don't you? We mentioned Jonesy, so yeah, some pretty cool scenes with Jonesy in this.
Actually, my favourite Jonesy one is when he's doing he's teaching the driving course.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there in the car, and the girl has to pretend to be doing all the different noises he's making. And then he's like, if I hear any of these noises, you're going to fail.
Yeah, that's some good. Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's always worth it. As I said, I saw him a few years ago performing live on stage, and yeah, he was great. He was great. Did a whole scene where he reenacted a Star Wars scene, where he just did the music, did the audio for it. That's pretty funny. Yeah. So, is there anything else you want? We're going to go into question time, Seabass. Was there anything you wanted to add before that?
No.
No. All right. Let's just roll into it. All right, question time. So we'll start with you, Seabass. Which character was your favourite?
Michael Winslow.
Winslow. Jonesy.
Jonesy
Gets it. Eddie, which character is your favourite?
Oh, I've got to go Zed and Sweet Chuck. The two of them.
I went Zed. Yeah, I still like Zed in this. It wasn't as unhinged, but he trying to be the good guy. I do like that scene where he's walking with one of the...
And what is it with the police academy and letting criminals into it?
Well, that's right. You can either go to jail or join the police academy.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about that.
So there's nothing wrong with that idea. Yeah, there's a scene where he's walking with like one of the inspectors or the committee, and he's walking with her, and he's just talking to her, and she just looks so nervous and shitting herself, and then those guys roll up and they just throw him in the car. He's like, oh, "This is my old gang, whoa!" You know, I don't know. I like that part. All right, next question. Over to you, Eddie. Favorite scene?
Favorite scene? I think it could be the dogs with the torches. Yeah.
We see these torches stop moving.
Yeah.
You guys are in trouble.
Yeah. So they attach the torches to these dogs and they just don't think anything of it.
No.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to work. Seabass, favorite scene?
So basically the scene where the lady steals the cop car from her husband and drives it in with him on the hood the whole way through town.
Yeah. Would have been a hard stunt to do, I reckon, too. Yeah.
I also really like when them getting the band back together.
Yeah.
When they're just going and collecting all the members.
Seeing what they're doing. And Tuckerberry's hiding in the backyard, playing in the backyard. Yeah. Mine, of course, the jet ski. Jet ski chase. Yeah. All right, back to you, Seabass. Favorite prank?
So I guess it would be the scene with Proctor where he gets locked out of the room and just kind of tries to casually hide. And at one point he's standing there on the side of the road with a lid in front of his junk and behind his butt. And then when the cop drives by, he takes it off his junk and covers his face. It's like, yeah, that's really going to help.
Yeah, not going to notice a dick just hanging in an alleyway, huh? No, we see those all the time, mate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just outside the Blue Oyster Bar. Hi, yeah. We know what that guy's up to. You know? My prank, I went with the eyebrow ripping off scene. So I like the way they set that up to, you know, can't tell the difference between champagne and beer. You know, he's like, yeah, of course I can, you know, put it on and just rip it off. And
No, don't go slow. Go fast so it doesn't hurt. Ah! Oh, that hurt.
And then that joke plays out to the rest of the movie because he starts doing his eyebrows and he's got painted on eyebrows,
Yeah,
and then the
when
fake
his eyebrow
eyebrows.
gets ripped off and stuck back on, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had down the locking Proctor out.
You had Proctor,
Yeah.
Proctor out. Yeah, that was pretty good, that one. Well, back to you, Eddie, seeing as you had that. Best stunt.
I actually just went with the jet skis.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty well
The
coordinated,
green
yeah.
jet skis.
the jet ski chase.
Yeah. Same with you, Seabass?
Yeah, same for me, the jet
Yeah.
skis.
I was going to go that, but I do like this one, and it's with Sweet Chuck and the scooter when he goes arse over the
That
car.
would be my second one.
Because it looks like the guy hit that pretty hard. You know, I mean, I know these are professional stuntmen and all that, and he probably wasn't going that fast, but the way they filmed that, I mean, he just went flying over the hood of that car when he hit that, you know, and that'd have been pretty hard to do. I mean, if you hit that, I mean, you would have had to hit it hard enough to fly over the hood. Maybe you could have jumped it, I suppose, but I don't know, the way it looked so fluid. The way it just happened, like, you know, no special effects, no CGI. That guy actually did that. He flew over the hood of that car, you know, and I don't know, could have really hurt himself, but you know, these guys are professional, so I guess not. All right, back to you, Seabaz. Who gets the wooden spoon? I think I know who. Zed. Oh, you're too harsh, man. I love Zed. No, Zed's good, man. Oh, you don't get it, man. You don't get it. That's your problem. You don't get it. All right, Eddie, what do you got? Wooden spoon.
Mauser.
Mauser.
Yeah, Mauser.
Ooh, okay. All right. I actually went with Fackler. Sergeant Fackler, because he was only in it for that one scene. But then maybe I'll stick in actually Adams, the generic love interest number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll go her, actually.
All right.
Yeah, Cadet Adams. Change it to her. So back over to you, Seabaz. Who gets the Oscar?
Winslow.
Fair enough. Yeah. I won't argue with that one. That's, yeah.
I would think Tim Kazansky. So Sweet Chuck, him being driven crazy. Yeah. Like his little crazy outburst that he's having.
Yeah. He just grabs him and I hate you. I hate you.
Yes.
Yeah, just completely loses control. I don't blame him for that one. So my pick's going to be maybe a little controversial, but I actually went Mauser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I went Mauser. I don't know. I think he's a really good straight man.
Yeah.
I think any comedy needs a good straight man.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked his character, and yeah, sort of gave it to him. There was actually a deleted scene of where he meets up with those 2 other police officers, and they're having their secret meeting. It's one on the rooftop. It's a really weird scene. It goes on forever. Like I could see why it was cut. He gets locked up there all by himself for some reason, and then he tries to get down, and then what he does, he starts crawling down the side of the building on a drain pipe, and then it falls over. Then he's stuck behind there. And then the other police. It just goes on forever. I'm like, God, when's this going to end? Considering, you know, in the original film he just left and that was it. So yeah.
Well, that's the other thing that these movies always do is that the cold intro where there's sort of some sort of suspenseful scene that happens that plays out.
Oh, but this is the second time we meet him though, not the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first time they met in the car parking lot doing the deep throat shit.
Yep.
Which he actually mentions. But the second time they met on the rooftop. And so that was that scene. Yeah. And it just went on forever, like me. Right. We've got the final question here, and I'll go to Seabass. What do you rate this episode out of 10 using something from the movie?
Using something from the movie?
So basically, you'd say 7 jet skis or 6 jet skis, you'd say, using something in reference to the film, you know, something like that. 7 karate chops, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I was literally going to say the number 7, so 7 jet skis. I'll go with that.
7 jet skis. All right, Eddie?
I'll go 5 out of 10 Fake eyebrows.
Oh, no. That's what I was going to go. All right, no, I read something else. 7 submarine jet skis. We did a submarine.
Okay.
Yeah. There was actually a really cool stunt where Sweet Chuck goes on the ground and then goes under. And then when he's playing right in the jet ski. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So we're at the end now. So was there anything else you wanted to add? Seabass?
I'm good myself.
Yeah.
And where can we find you on the internet?
Yes, Seabass. Just share us, where can we find Seabass?
Check me out on YouTube. Seabass Plays. CBASS Plays. All one word.
Yeah, check him out. And you're usually playing, what's your sort of local time usually on? It's pretty late at night, isn't it?
Generally about 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30 Eastern.
Yeah, so that's usually about 3 o'clock our time, 5. So, yeah, go check out Seabass. He's usually on there. You might find me on there too. I'm usually having a few rounds with him or something. Getting those wins at Warzone. So definitely check us out and come say hello. That's all. So,
Bad luck.
we're going to wrap this up. So thank you for joining us. We are Nerd Subculture. This is you're watching this again.
Watching that again.
Watching that again. I still get it wrong. And where can you find us, Eddie?
You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. There's also a email. You can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com.
Yes, be sure, like, share, subscribe. Come check us all out. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
The Love Doctor is about to speak.